All right, guys, so today on top of doing the metamorphic review sheet, you guys are going to check over your answers in your book that you should have already submitted to me. So let's review those answers. So first you had to do the My Planet Diary. So the question was, does the rock have to melt in order for it to change? And it said explain. So no. Heat can change the rock without melting it. So the rock doesn't have to melt completely. It can kind of get into like a gummy stage almost, and it can move that way. So it doesn't have to melt completely, and it can kind of get into almost like a plastic molding stage, and it can change that way without melting it completely. So then you had to answer the question on the next page, and it says what changed the rock. So it's talking about the rock down here at the bottom of this page, right down here at the bottom. It says what changed the rock, and make sure your answer explains the rock's current appearance. So it says great heat made the rock less rigid without melting it, and then great pressure deformed it. So what happens is the heat kind of changed it and made it less rigid, and then the pressure makes the bands in the rock. All right, and then if we turn the page, you guys had to do this part down here at the bottom. So it said to classify each rock as sedimentary, igneous, or metamorphic first. So first you did granite, and granite we know is an igneous rock. And then we did gneiss, and it is metamorphic. And then we said we had quartzite, and that is metamorphic. And then we had sandstone, and that is sedimentary. So there we did the first part of the question. The next part, it says to indicate whether the metamorphic rocks are foliated. So gneiss is foliated, and remember, foliated rocks are when it describes the thin, flat layering around most metamorphic rocks. So that's where you see those layered bands, where you can kind of see the different layers. So then when you look down here at quartzite, you don't see those layers, you don't see those significant marks. You can kind of zoom in a little bit on that. You don't see those markings, so that's non-foliated. And then lastly, it says to shade the correct arrowhead to show which rock can form the other rock. So if we take granite and we apply heat and pressure, we get gneiss. If we take sandstone and apply heat and pressure, we would get quartzite. And even if you didn't know that granite turns into gneiss, if you didn't know that by name, you would just know by the rock type. We would know that igneous turns into metamorphic. We would know that sedimentary turns into metamorphic by applying that heat and pressure. Okay. And then over here, I covered up these down here because I have the answers down here, but you guys didn't have to answer these questions. So I just cover that up because you don't need it. So for number one, you had to observe stuff. So it says look around your school or neighborhood. You would have had to look around your neighborhood and write examples of metamorphic rock you find. How is each metamorphic rock used? And then write your answers in the notebook to the right. I'll take a look at that when you guys, since you guys have submitted your answers to me already. But I just wrote about the Leaning Tower of Pisa over here. It's 846 years old. It began leaning by the time they got to the third story. It's soft ground and clay, fine sand, and shells. Okay. And then the challenge question that they have is, why are chess pieces sometimes made of marble? And the answer to that is the even grain of the marble allows it to be carved into the many different shapes of the chess pieces. So I don't know if you guys have ever played chess, but There's many different shapes and different grooves to the pieces of chess, and the marble is very even grained. I don't know, a lot of people might have marble countertops or may have seen marble, but it's very even grained and it's a very smooth surface, so it allows it to be cut and carved into those fine shapes. So that's why chess pieces are sometimes made out of marble. But those are the answers to the questions in the book. If you have any questions about maybe an answer that you wrote, if it's correct, or maybe you had something a little different than what I have, you can shoot me a private message on the post and just say, Miss Cup, can you check my answer for the first question or the second question, anything like that, and just let me know, and I can let you know how you did. But make sure you complete the metamorphic review sheet, and if you have any questions on that, also let me know. Don't forget we have a Zoom today from 12 to 12:30. If you have any questions on the book questions, or if you have any questions on the review sheet, you can join that. You can also email me or give me a phone call. All right, guys, have a great day.